Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nightsky Sanctum. This is session 17 with our awesome crew. We'll start by introducing ourselves with Elise.
With Elise?
Elise is
Well,
player.
hello, darlings. I am Morningstar, who is playing Elise. And she is a Median mind witch. Loves to reach into people's psyches and twist them until they do precisely what she wants them to.
Indeed. Let's go to Anya.
I'm Anya. I'm playing Hollis. She is a Gob Baba. She is curious about death, the dying, and the spirits of the dead.
And Lilith.
Hi, I play Steph, a neurotic shapeshifter. So they're a fish person trying to disguise that they're not a fish person. By all means.
And Zaylin.
I am Zaylwyn. I play Yarrow, who is an Arcanist Satyr, who is a little mad sometimes and a little chaotic and reckless, but generally has best in mind.
Yep. And they have been getting into some extreme hijinks, but have had a little downtime to recover. And we are going to pick up with them joining a feast in progress at the House of the Ram with some of their new contacts. So just to remind everybody where we are and why you're here, the leader of House of the Ram, or at least this chapter, Miranda, got her daughter back after you all inadvertently saved her from Corpus Templi Solaris by stealing their cruise liner, which is now docked with the Vile Legion. But when she found that you had her daughter, she came to abduct her back from you, but you let her go willingly and made a lot of friends in the process. But we haven't actually had a chance on screen to meet House of the Ram yet. So you are all having a feast inside of their massive black church in the middle of Manhattan. When you came to their door, just to fill you in on a little background of what you saw when you arrived, Jean, Yarrow's familiar, was waiting on the roof amidst several gargoyles for you. When you arrived, the massive black door on the front of the church opened from the wrong side. So there's a handle on the door on the right side, but it opened on the left. And when you came inside, it didn't look like the inside of a church at all. It looked like you were deep in a cave under the ground.
That's a step above the church, certainly.
And inside there, a massive long table had been set up with all the bounties of the earth on it, fruits, vegetables, meat of all kinds, and a probably a dozen and a half members of House of the Ram, all in their black and red robes, were already seated there. But nobody had begun eating until the guests of honor had arrived. One of the interesting things you see is a 8-foot tall, red-skinned satyr who ushers you in from the door and points you toward the table. In addition to him, another thing you see is that in the back part of this massive domed chamber that you're in. It looks like the leader's daughter, Letha, is in the back in the middle of a salted circle, having a ritual performed on her. So that's where we'll begin. Miranda, the leader, ushers you to seats and then gives a speech about how you rescued her daughter even without knowing that she needed rescuing.
We're just that heroic.
She
Truly
sort of waits for
paradox.
someone to claim that they were in charge of that rescue. And when nobody does,
Well, I suppose I did rescue the children.
you stand and
Yes. I stand slowly, so as not to look too eager for praise. And I open my arms and I say that truly children must be taken care of, and we must keep children out of the hands of the vile and the contemptuous. So it is our great pleasure to have saved these youths.
yeah. She says that she has no idea what befell them during their abduction, but they are performing a rite of cleansing over their daughter to make sure that anything that could have gotten to her during that time is cleansed before she's allowed back into the fold.
Does that mean she's gonna lose all those tap dancing lessons?
It's very, very unlikely.
Oh no, we beat those into her. She knows them well.
The royal we.
Right.
Yes,
We know
precisely.
full well who is doing the we.
The royal we.
So, yep, they have a massive table set out for everyone to sample things from, and they seem willing to teach you any of the things that they're working on, and provide you with information. They're also interested in what else you might be working on, or where you're headed next.
We're going to the zoo.
Yeah, it's just a day trip.
Yeah, what exactly for? The Central Park Zoo isn't known for being an exceptionally interesting place for those of us with any useful powers or abilities.
Well, field trip.
Yes.
Yarrow starts just whispering, field
We're
trip.
going to take the children. The ones that we didn't leave with you.
Thank you for all the donations. We will have the Vile Legion involved in our undertakings again very shortly at this rate.
What are they striking back about? We were very kind to them.
We'll have to find out once we hit the number, the big number. So, a robed gentleman who doesn't appear to be showing his face. He looks like he might be subordinate to the leaders. I guess everybody's subordinate to the leaders, but a subordinate walks up to the table and sets down a velvet wrapped parcel and slides it toward Elise.
Oh. How generous.
Meredith,
Because it would be rude
Sorry.
not to.
Miranda looks on and nods as he sets it down. and says, a gift for all that you've done for us.
It's so good to be appreciated. So, what do I find in the parcel?
You find a ritual dagger.
Mm,
Nice curvy blade, made more or less for your size hands. Not specifically. Probably wouldn't work that well in the gob's hands, but everybody else would probably be able to.
It's a bastard sword if we give it to Hollis.
Yeah, it's a little on the large
Hold
side.
knives.
Oh, it's beautiful, darlings. You know, returning the children was its own reward, but I shall cherish this. Truly.
Yeah. You notice that in the tip of the dagger, there is a hole. There's like a hole that leads down the entire shaft, and then you can see inside the handle there's a little vial. So it looks like blood is meant to pool there. And she says that she has heard around that you have become interested in blood magic, and that this might send you in the right direction.
Have you? My
Ooh.
goodness. So many little whispers about me. All true, I'm sure, especially the bad ones. This one, certainly. Thank you. From the bottom of, well, where my heart would be.
And they also bring out a bag of fey fruits to split amongst you later.
Yeah.
So they hand those to Elise as well.
Goodness.
And they tell you that they are at your disposal should you need them. If you have anything going on and you need to call upon some other witches to come and assist you, that they're happy to.
We would be most happy to help you, darlings, in turn.
You hear that the ritual seems to be coming to a fever pitch. They may be completing it shortly. Anything else anyone wants to do?
Well, Jean was staking out for a while here.
Mm-hmm.
Is there, I guess we can do a gather information and see
Yeah.
what she has figured out kind of in the meantime. She's
Yeah.
been a gargoyle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and easy to fly over to the zoo from here and get some information from there. So yeah, what? Go ahead and just make a. Well, you can choose the action.
Let's see. What do I have? I only have one in study anyway. Or I have one in survey. So I think, yeah, survey does make sense. So it's just a long-term survey.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. Which is only one anyway.
I'm going to give you increased effect because your familiar was there for such a long period of time.
Few weeks.
Yeah. So whatever you get will add a level to it.
All right.
Okay.
3.
So we go up from that to a 4/5. So 2 pieces of information. Is there anything particular you want to know, or do you want me to just start volunteering some information? If you have a direction,
They
that would
seem
be
to be pretty friendly and willing to volunteer information as well.
Mhm.
So I think just like a general feel for things is.
Sure. You see a surprisingly small amount of comings and goings. Maybe they don't always use the front door or back door, or they might be using some other method to get in and out of this location because you very rarely see people using the front door.
Okay.
And then as far as the zoo goes, you're seeing a lot of like sort of normal foot traffic. You don't hear any of the roars that you were hearing from overhead before when doing any of your flyovers. So it seems like that might have died down to a degree.
Does she
Anybody?
possibly know that big giant satyr's name?
Or if he's
Ye-
single.
Yeah, he would have introduced himself at the door as Puck. Let me see if I have a picture of him. Real quick. Anything else the rest of you want to do while you're here? Drink. They
But I'm
have,
assuming there's alcohol.
yes, they have
Banquet.
an epic bar.
Smashing.
What was your
I'll have a
drink?
Manhattan.
Nice. Anybody else?
Where do they keep their dead?
Ooh.
Good question.
You might have to get a status upgrade before they're willing to part with that kind of information.
You just need to rephrase it, darling. Would you like someone to dispose of your dead for you?
Are you running out of space?
Right. Okay.
Seth's just going to eat as many deviled eggs as he possibly can.
Oh god, we're going to have a bloated fish the entire evening.
Satan eggs. Here we are.
I'm assuming there's some pheasant under glass here somewhere.
There's a picture of our satyr. Were we to see him in the church part. Yeah, deviled eggs are one of my favorite things ever. Okay.
Well, it looks like he hangs out in the hot part of the.
He certainly doesn't mind the fire.
Some do like it hot.
But you notice that he's wearing a collar.
Oh.
So
is it Miranda who owns him?
possibly. That's the person I'd ask first if I was interested.
Do you want to go try and buy him off of her, Yarrow?
Do you want to check the bag and see how many fey fruits you got?
Yes,
We
that's a
could
good idea. Well, maybe
divvy
Seth
those
should
out
check
on
the bag.
divvy
I
that
also
those
have
out
my
on the.
Pentacle of Solomon. Would that affect any of
Just
our
to
fate?
distract him from the deviled eggs.
Yeah, go ahead and roll 2 die fortune roll.
Imagine what a bad impression that would be. We get invited to a banquet, and one of us eats all the deviled eggs.
Bad
Ooh.
results. Little effect or one.
So there are 2 for each of you, but when Seth goes to pull 2 out, one of them is rotten out of the 2 that you pull for yourself.
Alrighty.
But you get some of the juice from it onto the seal, and you see that the magic in the seal seems to be recharging in your hand.
Ooh.
So what you're saying is we should be starting our days with fey fruit juice. To really give us some kick. Freshly squeezed.
You hear that the like I said, the crescendo of the ritual, it starts to get a little bit wild. It's like they can't control the magic.
Can we help?
Yes, we're probably better equipped since we haven't been shackled.
Yeah.
I say,
Does anybody have
hopefully.
a
Everyone
ability?
heard that. Very rude, but
Does anyone have a grimoire ability or anything that they could use to sort of get some information about what might be going on with their magic? Actually, there's a little bit of a freebie for Elise. Did you ever take that general power that gives you +1 resolve?
the Elder Touched Soul, yes, some time ago.
Okay. You can feel that an eldritch energy is permeating their magic circle.
I don't know. If
Don't
that's
imagine that's intended. I shall inform them forthwith. Darlings, this does not seem to be going very well. Seems as if something very, very wrong is afoot.
Yeah, they rush over to try to join the semicircle of ritual participants to try to hold back the energy that's coming out. And Letha starts convulsing while she's standing in the middle of the circle. A reminder, she's a 14-year-old with long curly red hair.
Wondering if I play the hero here or not. Probably not, because I'm not a nice woman.
Could I use consecration to deny whatever this eldritch thing is?
Oh, through your binding
Bind or
circle?
deny entry of specific creatures is what it says. So
Yeah, through binding circle.
yeah, consecration. Oh yeah, binding circle is what's called. Sorry, these new character sheets are binding circle.
Yeah, everything's reversed.
Yeah.
The power name is on the right instead of on the left. Yeah.
I'm like, it's called consecration, right? Binding
Cons-
circle.
Consecration rite would actually be really good too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see. Does it have Eldritch listed there?
It doesn't have anything specific listed.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, let's do it at reduced effect. Since
So it's normally 1 essence. What if I spend more than 1 essence?
yeah, with general powers they go up by 2 essence, so you could go from 1 to 3 and
Okay.
then 5.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
do 3 essence.
Okay. So you're channeling you're basically channeling energy into their ritual and setting up like a binding circle outside of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and make a roll on that.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna spend willpower to
Okay.
get an extra die.
Okay. Is that a focus roll?
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to describe what that looks like too?
Sure. She's going to basically trace a circle. Ooh, complete
Oh.
success.
Good.
Goodness me.
Around their circle with her hands in the ground.
Okay.
And then she's going to lean down and she's going to blow basically her breath, her air into the circle. 'Cause you
Okay.
need an element in the circle. So it's her
Stop.
breath. And then she's going to start chanting in Gob, and then she's going to place her hands down outside of the circle to charge it so that it binds the little girl in safety, basically.
Okay. Do you have any ash? Magical components or anything?
No.
We could set someone on fire very quickly.
I mean, I could make fire. So, yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking ash is a binding agent for witches, so.
Jean's been here a couple of weeks. Has she reborn in the time?
Oh yeah, phoenix ashes.
Do you still have Trinity's hands in your pockets?
Oh, God. You put them in your pockets.
Oh.
Well, where else do you put your hands? In your pockets.
Okay, so
In a handbag.
the circle alights with energy from the binding circle that you cast, and you feel this like pulsing energy coming off of Letha as she continues to convulse, and you see a tentacle spring out of her side and grab a hold of the ground, but it smacks against your energy field and then dives into the ground, and starts grabbing stones and things like that. And
Going
then
to side-eye Seth.
What is this?
Further tentacles continue to sprout from her body, and her body bulges and distorts within the circle, and then it starts hurling stones from the inside of the circle. And we're going to take a quick break. So we'll be right back. right, we are back. Nightsky Sanctum, session 17. And the Letha continues her transformation and continues to slam against the magical barrier that Hollis has just created, and hurling rocks into the toward the ritual participants. And I'm going to need everyone that wants to resist this effect that is created by an eldritch abomination entering the area to make a resolve check, except for Elise. Elise is immune.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
What is my resolve?
Elise has seen horrors beyond comprehension while wading through people's minds.
It's not
Even
just
an
the bottom
eldritch
of the
terror.
whiskey glass.
I don't know. This is pretty cool. Maybe I don't resist it.
I've already got reckless
Yeah.
and haunted. I think I might just let it sit. I think I'm going to take
Okay, yeah. Just sort of stare at it and soak it all in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're all going to go mad, except for me. Fun.
I mean,
Yeah.
Seth's just intrigued about more tentacles. More tentacles is more better.
Yeah, considering Yarrow only has one in resolve, so
Yeah. Okay.
he's like she's just shaking now.
Yeah. In that case, one sec. So nobody is resisting. So that means everybody gets the effect, except for Elise.
We go as a team, guys.
Mm-hmm. Nope. Getting audio feedback. Right. Okay. I had to make sure that the word I was about to use made sense. So you are all taking, except Elise, level 2 harm addled. That is, your character is confused, bewildered. This thing is invading your mind through your eyes in such a way that it's disgusting you, but also making you exceptionally curious about its existence. And you're finding it difficult to look directly at it.
So it just has an aura of disgust around it.
Mm-hmm. And you can use that to give yourself harm penalties throughout the session, but it seems to be targeting the people who are involved in the ritual with the stones that it's throwing, and it is continually bashing its tentacles against this binding circle that you've created, and it is only a matter of time before the binding circle comes down because of this thing's sheer power. So I think we should start 1 clock. That is the binding circle. Binding circle fails, and that's going to be a 6 clock. And a second clock, that is ritual concludes successfully. And that is an 8 clock.
Dang.
All right. So it is hurling rocks and invading mines, and it probably has some other tricks up its sleeve, but that's all it can do while this binding circle is in effect. So does anybody want to take an action?
I have a question.
Would like to finish my drink. That is my action.
At least another Tuesday.
I just picture Elise like,
Exactly that.
It's
Exactly
got a
that.
rock, and you're just like, it just holds the rock.
I have a question in regards to the trauma
Mhm.
we have right now. So,
Mhm.
it's invading our minds. Are we hearing anything specific, or are we just feeling generally confused, bewildered, overwhelmed, terrified?
Yeah, that makes sense. I think you're all having hallucinations as well. That's part of what's confusing you. So the voices of people behind you are sort of blending with this cacophony of screams that is manifesting in your ears, that kind of thing.
Okay.
I'm having the exact same effects, even though I'm immune, but that's because I'm drunk. I actually have a plan. It's a terrible plan, but I have a
Oh.
plan. So, I pour myself another drink, because, of course, can't be empty-handed. And I walk up to the outer binding circle.
Okay.
Now, would I be able to enter?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I will try to get in there and get in to grip the girl and
Okay.
take over her body. Because
Okay.
who's better equipped to handle it than I?
At this point, you can't see any flesh left
Oh.
on her that still looks like it's part of her original body, but um, you think that any of these tentacles that you grab would probably suit just as well.
Well, can't be any worse than Cephal Ribbard. So I will attempt to grip a tentacle, and I suppose a physical takeover would be most useful.
Okay. Okay. Um. Okay. So we're
So
gonna
I'm going to
start
put
at,
my mind inside of an eldritch creature.
yeah. I think we're gonna start at 0 effect, but you can only go up from there.
Yes, true.
Do we have anything ticked on any of these clocks yet?
No, they are both empty.
Well, no, wait.
Um,
That works.
so I think being in the circle, we're gonna immediately go to risky. But you could up that to jump that up to um, whatever's above risky.
Desperate.
Yes, and that would give you an extra level of effect. So basically, if you just reach your hand in there and try to grab a tentacle, it'll be risky, but you'll have 0 effect. If you step your whole body in there and maybe grab a tentacle with both hands, will be upping the risk level, but you'll get limited effect.
I'm going to do that.
And
As
then
foolish an idea as that is, because I quite literally cannot think of a better one.
and then
And
I think
could
that
I?
makes sense because you have Elder Touch Soul. For anyone else, I would say that it's just
Very
not
bad.
fictionally possible. The other way you can get effect level up would be to spend 2 willpower.
Right. I would like to spend 2 willpower to increase my focus, the roll, plus
Okay.
1 die, and put myself in a riskier position as well.
Okay. So that'll give you limited effect, but plus 1 die. If you want, you could do a Fey bargain instead of spending 2 willpower to get that extra die.
You know what? That's a better idea.
Okay.
Because I'm not
Um,
using the Fey bargains near enough.
I think regardless of the effect, getting in here with this thing is going to leave a parasite behind in you.
Lovely.
So that will grow over time.
We'll get it
Well,
out.
now I don't have to go in that diet.
Eldritch tapeworm.
Does that sound good?
It sounds horrible, but
Right.
sensible.
Okay. So just mark one Fey bargain tick and add an extra die.
All right. That is a complete success.
Okay.
Unfortunate I added that extra die. The 6 was the
Yeah.
last one.
It would have been a fail. All right. So this is a complete success at limited effect. So let's think what that looks like is you have control of about, let's say, somewhere between a third and half of its body. When you reach out into its mind, it's like a network of minds. And so you dive from one node to another, and you end up taking over roughly half of its body. And then the minds start to reject you from there.
Right. Well, half is good. So, with half of the body under my control, I would like to attempt to wrap those tentacles around the ones that aren't under my control.
Okay.
Pretzel it up.
I think,
yourself.
yeah, I think that is going to effectively mean that the binding circle is not going to be damaged any further for right now, and that buys the ritual participants 3 ticks on their clock toward finishing their spell.
And she'll
So
be good after the spell is done, right?
yeah, I was about to
Maybe.
say, as a sort of side effect of this, Elise, you're aware that this thing had been planted inside of her for a while, and it's trying to protect itself from being destroyed by their ritual, is why it's coming to the surface.
See,
All right.
which implies that all of my children are eldritch terrors.
I mean, that's appropriate, right?
It's a plus.
Seth likes the children even more now.
All right. Anybody else have an action?
Feel free to stab at it. Oh, wait,
No!
don't do that. The child's in there.
That's the child.
Maybe protect my body, which is lying on the floor next to Hollis.
Technically in the circle too.
Oh, true. Oh, that's
Yeah.
even worse. Thank goodness the monster is busy hugging itself.
Yeah.
Does psychometry work on people? If I was to touch the tentacles, would I get anything from that, or is it strictly just objects?
I'd have to check the description. I feel like it's objects, but I don't remember if that's actually in the description or not. Because realistically, I could see it happening. It would just be an extremely reduced effect.
Okay.
If you objectify it enough, does it become an object?
Right.
I'm sure we can find some people who would objectify tentacles.
Does it have the description on the grimoire sheet?
It says touch an object. Or touch
Okay.
an item, so
Gotcha.
didn't know if that included like
Yeah.
personalities or not.
It's going to require you to go inside the circle, so that's up to you. You can do it at risk.
I might just breach the circle just to kind of pull Elise's body out, maybe.
Okay. What do you want to use for that? Because you're going to be defending yourself against, some of the tentacles that get free and try to grab you.
Finesse, maybe? Like,
Sure.
so, like ducking and avoiding?
Mm-hmm.
If
Yep,
anyone
go and-
can handle tentacles.
Yep, and of course you can shapeshift once you're if you do get some consequences, you can shapeshift with your other power.
An
Right.
octopus wrestling match.
Oh my gosh, octopus arm wrestle. So
Mm-hmm.
many. Okay. It is 2.
I'm gonna say this is since you're trying to get her body out, standard effect,
Okay.
risky.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna bop 2 willpower on for myself. Just because I have 2 and I want this to go well.
Would you like a Fey bargain instead, so you don't have to use the whole bunch of willpower?
You can also get a parasite.
Sure. Yeah, we'll do a fate bargain. I only have 4 right now. I do have a contract as well, though.
Nice.
So I'll take a fate bargain, save myself that 2 willpower.
All right. And if anybody has any ideas for a Fey bargain, feel free to shout those out, either here or in chat, because we'd love to hear it. So
there's already Eldritch stuff going on, and my traumas are reckless and haunted. So I don't know if we want to crank that up for maybe more potential harm, or if it.
Seth is just going to be mad for the rest of the session.
Chaotic neutral fish. I do still have battery acid burns. Don't know that. Play off.
Are you carrying anything? Oh, you had that the Solomon's coin.
Yes, I do have that.
How about you had your hand in your pocket and you inadvertently dropped the coin?
Oh no. That sounds good.
This is the third
Very-
time, darling.
Very upsetting if I drop my coin, but yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
So I will put a note before I forget. Dropped. Okay. Complete success.
Awesome. So you want to describe that?
Seth is going to go through the barrier and kind of dip dodge around whatever tentacles are currently being wrapped up by Elise. And they're going to pick Elise up because they know Elise will be pissed off if they just drag them across the dirty floor. And just gingerly place them outside of the circle behind the crowd.
Okay. One of the largest tentacles has a huge rock that it's like dug up out of the ground, and it chases you down as you're leaving the circle and smacks the rock into the ground right on the inside of the circle, trying to hit you with it, but it hits the barrier instead, and the rock just falls harmlessly to the floor as you're on the way out. So that's going to cause... well, no, that's not going to cause any damage to the barrier, but... All right, anything else?
I assume I'm still busy.
Yeah, you're coming to as your spell is wearing off.
And I just wake up on the ground with a drink in my hand.
You saved the drink while you were in torpor.
Really, I had more to drink than I thought. Oh.
Yarrow's just confused and she thinks all the tentacles are just like festival wacky waving
rave.
and alarm flailing to men. She's just giggling at it all.
That somehow invoke a terror within her.
Yeah, she's useless till she gets some words of power.
So it starts scooping up the rocks again, and now it is targeting the ritual participants to try to stop them from finishing the ritual. So
Does anybody have a baseball bat?
All I have is a katana. Not super useful with rocks.
But very useful against tentacles. If
Mm.
anime has taught me anything.
Go slicing up at this. Well, now you and also this child.
Yeah, she's grown to about 5 times her previous mass through this process.
Just stand up and start drinking again.
So if I jumped in this circle and touched this thing
Mm-hmm.
and used Siphon Life and just gave it back its own confusion.
Usually that works with physical damage better than mental damage.
Yeah, but it says and pain, so I mean, like, that's
Yeah.
mental anguish.
Yeah.
It gets counted the same way.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly that might buy you some time, for sure, and that's what they need to finish the ritual. So if you're
Yeah, I'm gonna try it.
okay,
I have to touch it though, so
yep. So
and
you
I
choose.
have to, let's see, I'm gonna spend
You can choose risky or desperate.
2
Risky is where
essence.
you just reach through the circle, and desperate is where you actually go fully in there. Desperate gives you +1 effect level.
I guess I'll do that.
Okay.
So that's 2 more essence. Okay. And I guess I don't know what kind of I guess I could use brawl to touch it, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, good.
You could just sink your teeth into it. That's touching it.
I'm gonna taste him.
Tastes like calamari.
Delicious.
Delicious. Well, now I regret not eating it. I'm going to pick a piece of calamari off of a plate.
I got a 5 at a partial
Okay.
success.
Okay.
He is really wiggly, so that makes sense.
Yeah. a tentacle wraps around your leg, and that in and of itself isn't too bad. But as you're working to free yourself, another tentacle comes down, and this one has like an opening on the end of the tentacle, and it flies down toward you in an attempt to try to suck out some of your internal organs or juices.
Ew.
So you went up to desperate.
Uh-huh. That's
Um,
pretty desperate.
so you're going to be resisting level 3 harm.
But I'm siphoning life, like, doesn't that just recycle back into it?
Recycle life.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and take the harm, and then it can just have it right back.
Okay.
Oh, I need that on a shirt now. Reduce, reanimate.
Okay, so basically you're going to quick switch from the previous siphon life to the new one after you take the damage?
Sure.
Okay.
I'd rather
do you
resist
wanna
getting my guts sucked out. That would
Or do
be
you wanna do the one that you were already doing first, and then do the other one?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Alright, well, in that case, you were successful, so why don't you describe what that looks like? It does fully work on it.
So, Hollis, being obviously disoriented and confused, and her eyes are kind of glazed over, and she's, yeah, kind of stumbling around. Well, she stumbles into the circle, and she grabs hold of the monster, and her eyes clear up, and she becomes very aware of what she's done and what's happening, and that there's a giant sucker flying at her face, and she's in trouble, but she stays there hoping that that her magic is strong enough.
Mhm. Yes, so the tentacles that were swirling around you in a very ordered way, trying to get to you, immediately they become like drunk and confused and darting different ways. But the main tentacle that was coming down toward you, it hits you right in the middle of the chest, and just cuts a circular opening through your clothes and your skin and
It's
starts
just a movie
sucking
window.
out
It's fine.
starts sucking out whatever it can get to.
Oh no.
And so that's a level 3 harm. Um, and
It's a reverse chest burster.
yeah, so you can't see it, but the mouth hit you, and then it sent its tongue out and just
Ugh.
is using its tongue to like scramble your organs, and then it's slurping up the slurry.
Ugh.
Okay, let's
Disgusting.
another 3 essence
Okay.
to send that back.
Okay.
He can slurry himself.
Good luck. This one's gonna be
Um,
desperate.
Since I'm already here and touching it, I figure I would do a focus roll,
Yeah, that makes sense.
and I'm gonna take a fey bargain because I don't want to die.
Okay. Let's see. Fey bargain for this. Um, I think you're gonna. How about you're going to need emergency? No, you're gonna transfer the wound.
Maybe I
If you're
have like since it hit me in the chest, maybe I have like some minor permanent lung damage, or like my burps always smell like calamari, or always have a taste of calamari in my mouth. Like everything tastes
Sort
like
of
fish now.
downside.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking something like a temporary trauma.
Okay.
Or how about you take a die off your resistance rolls to resist Eldritch
Okay.
until you get some really good therapy.
Okay.
So that'll give you +1 die. You're already in desperate, so you don't get the increased effect for that.
Okay. Let's give this a go. I got a 4.
Okay. All right. So you succeed in pushing out the damage, and your body heals, but its mouth is still there. And so you lose the level 3 harm, but it takes the moment to smash one of the big rocks over your head to try to knock
Okay.
you out. And you take level 2 harm, bludgeoned in the head, and you see its chest area split open and a slurry of its organs and stuff come flying out of its chest.
Okay.
And you are worried that if you were to do something like that again, it might kill the girl.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna try to get out of the circle. Can I get out of the circle?
Yeah, it'll take an action.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and add 2 to that clock. 'Cause you're taking up its time. So we're at for the ritual wrong window. Go ahead.
That would put us at 5 now.
Yeah.
Well, all this is almost enough to put one off one's appetite. But for some reason, I feel exceptionally hungry, so I'm just going to start munching on some of the food because the parasite is making me eager to eat. Even his guts are flooding the floor.
So are you not connected to the child and this monster anymore?
No. I'm just connected to my drink.
Anya, are you?
Yeah, I'm trying to decide.
I think it does have a tentacle wrapped around your legs, so you're probably going to need some kind of physical action.
Ooh, I have an idea. I have mythical transformation. It says I need. Yeah. I'm sorry, it's really small. I have to zoom.
Yeah, I've blown mine up to
I
175%.
think I see exactly what Seth is thinking, yeah.
I need a part of something in order to transform into a mythical transformation. Would I be able to scoop up some of the guts of this critter and
Yeah.
transform into that and attempt to restrain it?
Well, you have to study them, and it
Okay.
takes time. However, based on what we had talked about, something you wanted to turn into, if you got a part of this, I think that would count.
Okay. It's like
So if you
scooping in my
wanted to
pockets
try
for
to
later.
jump in there and chop off a part of the tentacle or something.
Would it not count for like the guts that are already spewed out, or do I need like
Yeah, I
specific?
guess. Yeah, you could find a big, the biggest chunk that still has some life to it.
Because I got one of my beliefs that like I don't want to like harm children, so I would like to avoid
Yeah.
causing further damage to the child. So if I can, I'm just gonna get some really goopy pockets.
Yeah, I was
Scoop 'em
thinking
in.
if you jump in there, you could be performing a setup action for Hollis getting out
That's what I was
by
thinking.
distracting
Kind
it.
of like
So, yeah, if you want to make a action roll for that,
okay.
that could make Hollis getting out easier.
I'm trying to think of what I should do. I guess maybe another finesse again to kind of zip zoom around in and out.
Tentacle dance.
Yeah. Do you want to turn into something in particular that might make that easier? Or? I was thinking something small might have an easier time.
I do have enigmatic form if anything happens, so I
Oh,
think
okay.
I'll go in my normal form, and then
Sure.
if something happens, I can use that to kind of like
Yeah,
work backwards.
that makes sense.
Okay, so I will do finesse again, and I'll do 2 willpower this time instead of another Fey bargain,
Okay.
just because I'm worried with the madness how far gone this is going to go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a failure anyway.
Okay. So I think in a way, this is still moderately successful in that you are able to distract it because it is bringing many of its tentacles to bear on you at once.
So because I got a failure, would it be going after me instead of Hollis?
What's that?
Because I got a failure, could it potentially be coming after me instead of Hollis now? Or is
Yeah,
it
I
still,
think
like,
for the
Hollis
most
still in
part it
control?
is.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think you're going to be resisting, if you'd like to resist or use your enigmatic form, it's going to try to entangle you with multiple tentacles, and it's going to try to pull you in into like bodily contact with it.
Okay.
So
I will attempt to do enigmatic form and shrink down to a little crab
okay.
to avoid being grabbed, but also I could potentially either go closer towards or away based on Hollis' situation, I guess. So I'll do that.
Yeah, I would say if you go toward it, at least that would be that would give her a setup action, regardless.
Okay. So do I need to roll anything in regards to me trying to move closer? I know I have to take an essence for enigmatic
No.
form, but if I want to do the setup action for Hollis, do anything?
No, I think the previous roll definitely counts.
Okay.
Um,
Then in that
all right.
case, I will shrink to a crab and attempt to skitter a little bit closer in an attempt to distract them.
All right. Hollis, that's going to give you increased effect as a setup action if you want to try to get out.
Yeah. Can I brawl my way out?
Yeah, I think so. Grabbing a hold of the tentacle
Oh, I'm
that
not
has
grabbing
you.
anything. I'm kicking and pushing and
Gotcha. Yeah,
trying to
that makes
spring
sense.
off of it. Okay. Ooh, I got a 3.
Okay. So you kick, and that just attracts more tentacles.
Yeah.
And the ones that aren't going for Seth are now going for you. And it starts pulling you in toward its body. And it starts rolling forward. And it's going to be trying to crush both of you with its body. So I think because you're both in there and you both had failures, it's going to be a prowess resist if you want to get out from under it.
Okay. I might trauma out.
So early.
So early.
Trying to do a quick Google for venomous poison.
Oh, I like to spend 1 willpower. I have
Nice.
1 left.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not gone yet.
All right. It starts to roll onto you, but you pull your leg out just in time and kick off of it and rush back out of the circle,
Okay.
avoiding multiple tentacles that slam down as they're trying to get to you. How about Steph?
I would continue to like to get closer to this because I have an idea.
It's trying to roll over you,
So it's trying to roll over me. Okay, so an attempt to squish me.
yeah.
Okay.
And you're a crab right now, so
Crap. So.
crab.
Crap.
I didn't think your kite was quite hard enough.
So, because she's grown to 5 size her original mass, she's like over the size of like an adult.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I'm wondering if I turn into some kind of blue ring octopus that's got something that causes like respiratory failure and paralysis. But because she's so much bigger, it'll just like knock this thing out so we can kind of control. Or at least put it in a state where it's not as much of a danger to us. So
Okay.
I think I'm going to try that.
I'm going to say, so I think...
Or with this hole in its chest, is this going to make her that much weaker?
There's a chance that it might not work at all because of this thing. it has a mixture between her physiology and its physiology. So it sort of depends on the role, as far as which way that'll probably go. The thing you can either use the fact that it's trying to roll over you as a way to sort of get an automatic success on an attack, but then take the damage, or you
That's what I was thinking. So have it squish me or hit me, but then my effect actually work.
Yeah.
Or at least be more likely to hit.
Yeah. So, if you want to just take the damage and use enigmatic form, because like you said, a blue ring octopus, you should be able to squeeze into all the little cracks and crevices and stuff and avoid taking nearly as much damage. Okay. So, and also deliver the venom at the same time. So,
bad idea. I'm willing to take the damage if it means it's actually going to touch me, and then that'll be help with my attack option.
So let's reduce that down to level 1, bruised all over. Basically, it bruises your entire body, but you spread out and then you use that moment to jab it with your however blue ring octopuses deliver their
Seth was already fluid green.
And
just had the page up and now it's gone, so I don't know if it's surface contact or if it's a secretion, but
yeah. And
either way, it's got me, so it's getting covered in something.
Yeah. And I say
it right out of you.
Yeah. Let's do a fortune roll. Let's do a 2 dice fortune roll to see how effective it is. And yeah, Kitten Krampus mentioned if you roll too low, it might just be immune.
Bad result.
So you jab it and deliver the venom, and you see the venom just sort of spread out under its skin, and it continues to sort of roll over and past you. And what you don't see is that it bundles up all that venom and brings it up next time it bites somebody, venom to them.
Correct.
That's the result of you're still there, still living. Everybody else is the I'm going to say that puts another tick on your completion. Going to the wrong computer. That is 6 bait for the ritual completion. To detect it for a little longer. How that off everybody at this point?
I think
I
at
have
this
one
point,
willpower.
I think at this point, Yarrow starts coming to a little bit. While she was stumbling around, giggling, she might have slipped in some guts, and that kind of knocked her a little bit more to senses. And I think she would try to use her greater telekinesis to maybe freeze everything real quick, or freeze what's going on to see what can get out in the meantime and give a little escape option. And then I figured I can push myself too, and just spend the extra willpower to just give it an extra die. And
do you want to give it an extra die, or do you want to raise the effect level? So I think greater telekinesis is strong, but this thing is rich abomination. So to level it up.
Let's see. It depends if I think my luck is gonna be better or if I need more effect. We'll just we'll use it to increase effect. And I figured since I just came out of like my stupor,
Yeah.
and I realized everything was going on, it would just take extra finesse to do that. And that way I can use my 2 points in finesse.
Yeah, finesse sounds good.
And just give it a little
Yeah.
extra, like
Wrangling up all
shoving.
those tentacles.
Yeah, while I'm scrambling up, I act like nobody saw that, and it was like a purposeful fall. And and let's see, I think that would just be 2. Oh no, still a
Oh
failure.
no.
I struggle and slip again, and I just fall over again.
Yep. That is the nice. Yeah, my camera is being or something about our setup. Ray, and see if I can fix the.
See if one of us can come up
Right
with a better solution.
right, welcome back. Hopefully the audio video issues are a little bit remedied. We'll see. So where we left off, we were dealing with the consequences of a failed roll on a greater telekinesis. So because Yarrow is outside of the circle, that puts her in not quite as much danger as everybody else. So you were saying you might slip in some guts, and there's a whole lot of stuff that has oozed out of the circle. So I think that makes sense. And then it hurls one of the rocks and pegs you with a stone that it's pulled out of the ground. So that's going to be level 2 harm that you can choose to resist if you'd like.
Yeah, I think I would I would try to resist that by like trying to spring out of the way.
Yeah. So make a prowess roll.
Mm,
So it'd be exclamation point your prowess and then the letter R.
Yay!
Awesome.
Finally.
Yeah. So your feet get traction when you need them, and you're able to spring out of the way, and the rock flies past you and hits the dinner table, just utterly destroying the turkey.
So Jarl Scooby-Doo ran basically.
All right.
That happens just as I grabbed a leg from the turkey, so I'm standing right there, and it just rolls past.
So you can tell that the ritual is finishing. They are waiting for the last candle to go out, and they're just standing there guarding the candle so that it can burn out. And yeah, there's 3 cultists or House of the Ram members around the candle trying to protect it and just getting pelted with rocks and stuff like that as they're waiting. So, any other ideas to buy them a little extra time to finish?
I'm all out.
I think the House of the Ram has shown that they are pretty good at telekinesis as well. Maybe if you work with the House of the Ram, you could get another telekinesis going as a group action.
Yeah, I have plenty of willpower to bump it up too. So
They did say we could call on them if we need help. Than we expect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, I think
us assisting them.
I think this counts, as you helping them, not them helping you. So even if you called on them.
Like, hey, do something.
I yell, "Pug, please, with your big, strong red arms. Could you help me?"
You want to make a consort roll?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
see. Which I have nothing in, so that's just
Fun.
partial success out of 5.
Okay. So I think the penalty is obvious. You forgot that he's collared and can't is not supposed to respond directly to commands such as this, but he does it anyway.
I
And
got my big satyr eyelashes.
I'm sure in this instance, Miranda will prove.
We couldn't resist. The lashes are all tinted for the winter.
he tilts his head down and rushes forward into the circle and uses his horns not to gore, but to push back the eldritch abomination and sort of smash it into the wall as best he can and hold it there as the tentacles just come down and smack into him over and over again. And
He's a masochist as well as a submissive.
yeah. Can you roll a 2 dice fortune roll to see how well this goes for him? Awesome.
Nice.
He just tanks it and continues to hold the thing at bay, and that gives enough time for the ritual to complete.
He must be used to taking punishment. So
Yeah, he is. And he will take more for doing this. So
Aw.
like, I'm sorry. It was worth it though, right?
he's like, oh no, I'm going to get a spanking later.
Ooh.
Saving the mistress's child without her permission.
The candle finally burns out, and the magic that has been being built up for the last several minutes finally works its way into her body, and the tentacles start to draw back up and suck back into her body, and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller until she's just huddled on the ground, and she is crouched over, and she starts heaving, and she throws up a small worm onto the ground.
So are these worms in all the children then, I guess?
I'm not really keen
That's
on
a
doing
good
this another
question.
dozen times.
That a long-term project might find out the answer to.
Long-term project, horse dewormer.
You can't get any, darling. It's all sold out.
For the Eldritch abominations.
Yeah,
It
Yara
works
writes
for
on a
COVID.
notepad, dewormer for children.
Seth, do you want to pick up this worm?
Yes, absolutely. I want to put it in my grubby little pocket.
All right.
Add that to my sheet.
All right, it's time to go to the zoo.
Miranda rushes in and grabs her daughter and is checking her over. She doesn't seem to have taken any of the wounds that you all inflicted on her when she was in the monstrous form.
That's good.
We should have been more violent. Violence makes everything easier.
Well, you all weren't too violent, so neither was Puck. So, yeah, they're basically all the ritual participants are just completely spent, just laying on the floor, panting, and they're going to need to hose down this cave.
Yarrow's trying to flick like guts and goop off her hooves from slipping around so much. She can't stand it.
The level 2 harm addled, if you still have it, disappears as soon as the abomination is vanquished. Sadly, House of the Ram is not known for their healing abilities.
I just want to know, does Hollis have a huge hickey on their chest from this monster sucker?
It's up to Anya.
There's definitely a mark.
And you definitely need a new shirt. You have a giant round boob window in your shirt.
That's fashionable though, right?
Yes, we just need to trim the edges so it looks finished. Very chic. Well, that was a mess.
Yeah.
Should
So
kids go into a party?
Well, a party's not any good unless there's a bit of violence anyhow, but usually one wants to keep it to witches and saves.
Yeah.
Sometimes the Fae, but whatever that was, that is none of the three.
Is it really a party unless you accidentally summon an eldritch horror?
Yeah, so do you all want to go back to your Coven stead? Make a mission of finding out what's going on with the kids, or try to stick it out and head over to the zoo?
I like the idea of the horse dewormer. Perhaps we can find some at the zoo. We'll raid one of their cupboards for animal dewormer.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
like
see-
as long as we aren't trying to cast it out, that it's fine where it is for right now.
Docile. I've
Yeah.
raised little terrors before. This wouldn't be the first time.
Good point. Okay.
Usually
Seeing
they
all
have
these
less
tentacles.
tentacles.
Seeing all these tentacles makes Yarrow want to see more animals, so she's like, "Zoo, time."
All right. Well, you are a mere one subway stop away from the zoo.
Nice to take a walk and catch some air after that.
Mm-hmm. You can use a Fey fruit to take a recovery action if anybody has any physical damage they want to get rid of.
What
I
about
also have my
willpower?
first aid kit. Am I able to bandage up Hollis a little bit? Or
Yeah.
is that
Oh,
power still reserved for downtime?
and yeah, you can use Fey fruit to do restore willpower or anything like that.
I think I'm definitely gonna have to do that because if we go and do anything else, I'm gonna trauma out.
First thing, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a sensible thing.
If you do trauma out, I will turn into a kangaroo and put you in my pouch.
Yeah, I told Anya, I was like, I think this might end up being a two-parter because you guys are about to get derailed.
Yes, that was a fair bit of a derailment.
Yeah. I guess. Wait, no, that's not as good as getting railed.
No.
No.
What do I roll for willpower recovery?
Lower of insight or resolve.
Okay. And
As
it's
proportional.
what's the command?
Exclamation point, that number, and the letter R. Sorry, F.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
So you restore 3 ticks of your willpower. And what does that look like? Your therapeutic situation.
Since we are already underground, yeah, I feel like Hollis would probably just lay down on the ground and just try to get, I don't know, close to the earth. She just wants to feel the earth and
Sometimes
the
you just have to lay on the ground.
sometimes sometimes you just gotta lay down for a few minutes.
Just
So
need
it's
some
like-
And yeah,
extra
take a couple of really deep breaths and relax and just visualize all that negativity just flowing out of her and yeah, relaxing.
Awesome. Well, it works great. Maybe it's the knowing that all the other people here also had it just as bad as you, and they're all recovering, and everybody survived.
Not me.
All right. Any other actions or Fey fruit people want to
I
consume?
think I should do the same for my essence,
Okay.
because it's in a rather precarious position at the moment. So, how does one do essence again? Is it again like a therapeutic sort of thing, like the?
Usually it's a place of power,
Oh,
but
do they have an
you're
altar
in one.
here?
You're in one right now.
Smashing. Can I bring my drink? All right. Well, then I will set down my drink for a moment. Not the turkey leg, though, because it's the only one left. And I'm starving. And I shall take a moment to try to let the energies that perhaps are residual from the ritual flow into me and help me restore some of my magical power.
Okay.
And is that also the lower of insight and resolve?
That is a good question. Let me see. I'm going to pull up the PDF because I do not have that perfectly memorized yet. Okay, here we are. Downtime activity, recover essence, roll focus.
Okay. Oh, I see. And fortune roll as well?
Yep.
That is a 6.
Wow.
Smashing.
These fey fruit are really coming in handy.
Yes. It's the first time I've utilized one, so I'm glad it's coming in handy.
Awesome.
Might tempt me to do so again instead of hoarding them all for nefarious purposes down the line.
All right. And yeah, anything else before you all head to the zoo?
One more drink.
One for the road.
Just get a garter flask already, at least.
Let's see. I still have the goggles from the downtime we did, so those are ready for the zoo.
Yep.
And I'm decent on the willpower and essence front, so I'll just stay the way I'm at.
Okay. All right. What type of undertaking is this, and what method and detail do you want to use? Those are on the Coven sheet.
Yeah.
I suppose the question is, what time is it?
In the game world?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say that you went to eat dinner with them in the evening, so it's probably just after sunset.
Yeah, the zoo might still be open. We could just walk in, potentially. Buy tickets, obviously. Oh, I suppose we'd have to be bound for that.
Yeah, you could either do a late night entry, or you could do, you would need electronic currency to get in, or you could just wait until they close around 11 or something and
But
sneak
we're
in.
currently in the presence of a large group of bound witches who owe us a favor.
Yeah.
They might be able to buy us tickets.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a 3 dice fortune
If we
roll for
want to
that.
do this in the day, we could just wait a little bit.
We tell them that's all the payment we need for returning the children is
Tickets to the zoo.
ticket.
You want to call in that favor?
I don't think that's a very good use of a favor, in all honesty.
Yeah, I think we just sneak in after hours.
It's more fun to have the zoo all to yourself, anyhow. Who wants bratty little children running about? Filthy things full of parasites, as we've learned.
Okay.
So I guess it's a stealth mission, so we need an entry point as our detail. So maybe some of the information that our Zelwyn's familiar friend was able to get was a place where the cameras aren't like where the cameras point at certain times so we could get in.
You'd need to take another action. We already used up all the goodwill off of that one. But yeah, you could send another familiar out for some information.
Okay. Ron
Yeah, I
can
think Jean can make another circle around if she
Yeah.
needs to.
All right. What do you want to use for that?
Let's just do another survey. Because
I think
yeah, that's the only one.
if you're looking for camera emplacements, I think survey is probably going to be reduced effect. Just to try to get some quick general information like that. But yeah, that could work.
Or we could do study. Study might be a little more studious on that because then we know the ins and outs and we've kind of studied
Yeah,
where we notice people going in and out there. So yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. Which I only have one in either anyway.
Do you want to do that as a group action? Send both of your familiars out together?
Sure. I don't have any study.
Okay. Do you want to lead that or a Zalon?
Oh, well, it's a failure.
Okay. Well, still a chance on.
Okay, let's yeah.
You want a Fey
See how
bargain?
bad this is. Yeah. Let's do a Fey bargain.
My poor Jean's tired from being a gargoyle for a minute.
um. I think from the low flyovers, one of the zookeepers is going to notice that that your owl is not native. They're like an avid bird watcher,
Okay.
and they
Obviously
know.
broke out of the birdhouse.
Yeah, so they're going to be paying close attention to the owl.
Okay.
Anything else it does, and we're going to add one fate to the coven to represent that. Hey!
Partial success.
All right. So you get two pieces of information. So I think the first one was you were hunting down places where the cameras don't appear to be recording.
Yeah.
I think we can use both of those, and that'll give you a pretty good idea. So you find a maintenance entrance that doesn't have any cameras on it
Okay.
that you can use as your entry point.
Okay.
It's on the west side of the zoo, and it is near the Penguin House.
Isn't that a publishing company?
It is well known for its penguin house. They have the most species of penguins of any North American zoo.
Take one as a pet. I'd love an emperor.
They have penguins I've never even heard of.
All right, let's bust in.
And what is the undertaking type? I heard
Stealth.
stealth is the method. What's the undertaking? There's a big drop down for undertaking types. Like 54 of them or something like that. 52. Kidnapping. I think liberate is one of them.
Oh yeah.
Is that the idea?
Yeah, to liberate whatever is stuck underground.
Okay. Does that work for everyone?
Seems sensible. I'm not
All
certain what else we're actually doing there.
All right. A stealth liberate through the maintenance hatch. All right. Let me get the engagement roll together. I think that maintenance area is going to be +1 die. The fact that it's not really a guarded establishment, it's just sort of a public place, is going to give you an extra die. You're higher tier, so we're looking at 4 dice engagement roll. Quite good. All right. That was a complete success. So you are in a controlled position in front of the first engagement, or the first obstacle. So I think the first obstacle is you come in through the back gate. You see a maintenance truck drive through it. It drives on, and they just hit the clicker from a distance, and the gate starts rolling closed without anybody monitoring it, and you're all able to get in without any difficulty. And so the first obstacle is just finding your way into further in to get into possibly the underground area. And of course, if you want to release anything on the ground level of the zoo or in any of the giant habitat buildings, now it might be a good time for that as well. So it's up to you.
We've got
Could
some
cause a
shiny rocks. We
distraction.
need a whole army of penguins.
Anya, what was that?
I was just saying that could cause a distraction to keep them looking for other things other than us.
Sure. Yep, they have bears, gorillas, a whole big building full of penguins.
Maybe not something that could eat us if it finds us.
I think that if there's monkeys, those are good to release.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Only anything that flings its feces as a pastime.
Yep. Okay. You find your way to the primates exhibit. Are you going from the back, from like the maintenance side, or from the front side, like where people normally view them from?
Probably the maintenance side, just so we'd be less likely to be caught on cameras.
Oh yeah. How do you want to cover up or anything of that nature, just in case you are caught on cameras?
Hoodies and ski masks.
Does that work for all of you?
I'd much prefer to wear an ominous black cloak. Hoodies and ski masks are so last year.
Yarrow yanked a coat from the museum, so she's just gonna she's been wearing the cloak anyway. She doesn't know really what it does, but she's just gonna try it out and take it with her. She's just been kind of wearing it around.
Gotcha.
And I have my hood of understanding, so I'll flip that up over my face.
Okay.
I look like a bank robber.
A tiny bank robber.
And worst case scenario, if we know where the cameras are, Ribbert could do that thing that frogs do, where they like stick and suction themselves up on the glass. Completely
Yeah.
cover the camera.
Get a load
Whisper
of my
could
crotch.
weave a web in front of one.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Aside from getting through a simple lock, you shouldn't have too much difficulty releasing the primates. Who wants to tackle the lock?
Who has the most finesse?
I have two.
I have 2.
I also have two. We could just do a group
Do you have
action.
fine lockpicks or no?
Yes, I believe so, because that was our coven.
I think they were just regular lockpicks.
Just regular,
Ah,
but still. Okay.
Yeah, lockpicks.
Yarrow could make them fine.
Oh, that's true. No, I think that was Jason's thing, being able
Was
to
it? Oh, I
um,
assumed that was a
awaken the
Arcanist
spirit.
ability.
Yeah, he could awaken the spirits of the lockpicks to make them fine.
Okay, well, if we're all 2, then I can give it a go.
Okay. Right, you all crouch into a small doorway that leads into the back of the primate enclosure, and you can hear at least a dozen primates being rowdy on the other side of the door.
Partial success. Fine.
Okay.
Does my mode of understanding make me understand animals or just actual languages?
What's it called?
That Fey piece of clothing that I got made at the floating market, the Hood of Understanding. I just have a note saying I can understand any language, so I think that's just like speaking language. I don't think that's animal.
Yeah. There is an animist ability that lets you understand animals
Okay.
as well. Okay. I think when the door comes unlocked at an unusual time, they come barreling out of the door really excited, and they throw the door open so hard, and you're not used to the way the keepers do things. Like, they know to get out of the way of that door. So that door comes flying open and sort of pins you against the wall for a few moments as the primates come running out and escaping into the zoo. And then you're finally able to free yourself as the last 2 or 3 more timid primates are coming out, and still grooming each other, and they sort of pause by the wall and they wait. But another about 10 or so have all gone running off and are now climbing fences and things like that and hooting. But you're going to take level 1 harm unless you want to resist that.
I mean, I already have my bruised everything, so it's just like extra sore bruised everything.
Yeah, I was thinking like the door handle like gouged you in the
Okay.
stomach.
It's like stomach gash.
Yeah. They hit you with that primate strength.
Got it.
It occurs to me, if we
What's
have
that?
shared ancestors, are there any magically inclined monkeys? We
Not
should
that
take some home and experiment on them.
not that any of you are aware of, but
Can we make flying monkeys?
yeah,
I
that
like
you
that
can
idea,
definitely do.
yes. We've already got the hat and the green skin and the broom for horrors.
All right. You see some lights kick on in various parts of the zoo as these monkeys are being picked up on all the surveillance cameras and everything. So their surveillance cameras have all gone from looking down to like looking up along fences and stuff. And so the many fewer lights are shining down on the areas that you would all be traveling.
Good.
And of course, this will keep the eyes off any buildings because they wouldn't be able to get into those buildings. So, all right, what's the next target?
So if I remember correctly, we were looking for a way to get underground. And we had some sort of idea that the thing that we were looking for was under the fountain. So maybe looking for like a maintenance type building that would have tunnels to get under the fountain.
Yeah.
So a building that's relatively close because they wouldn't want to make their tunnels too long because that's a hassle.
Yeah. So the Penguin building is very close to the fountain. And
Okay. You
because
really
they
want us
are
to see the penguins, huh?
Let's go see the
I think
fancy
we should go see the
boys.
penguin.
not specifically, but yeah, I think it would make sense that the plumbing, there would need to be some heavy
Yeah.
duty plumbing for the Penguin area.
Okay.
There's
Penguin Inn.
also a restroom, an outdoor restroom near there.
Okay.
Possibly either of those.
So all of you can clean yourself up. I can maybe wash this hand of the tentacle nonsense on it. We have
I
to
don't know,
wash
though,
all
any-
of Horus.
Any water in the penguin house is gonna smell pretty fishy.
Well, everything's going to smell fishy anyways with Seth around.
Jeez.
And of deviled
So
eggs,
great.
apparently.
So grateful for me making sure you were safe and clean. Should have just left you.
Where are you headed?
Fancy boys to the penguins.
We're going to go see the boys in the tuxedos.
Okay. Is that a group action?
To go into the penguin house?
You said
Yeah,
that
there are
to me?
people, there are maintenance people out wandering around now.
Oh.
You see several people who are walking the grounds with tranquilizer dart guns.
I am monkey sized. Please don't let them shoot me.
I hope they don't think I'm some giant goat.
I guess a group prowl?
Makes sense.
Who wants to lead that?
Oh, I
I
have
have-
nothing in prowl, probably because I just clip clop around too much.
Do I? I'm not exactly the prowling sort, given that I tend to be wearing very ostentatious clothing.
I only have 1 in prowl, but I have 5 willpower to spare. So if anything
Nice.
goes wrong, like I can eat that a little bit.
That's what I'm worried about. I only have like a few willpower.
Why don't we? We could think a little bit more rationally about this. If we were able to incapacitate 2 guards, I could begrudgingly dress as one. Seth could transform into the other. We could drag Hollis along like a captured, tranquilized monkey. I don't know what we do with you, Yarrow. You're not monkey-sized.
I am not, and I am very noticeable with my clip clopping little hooves and all that. So I'm really good at staying in the shadows, though.
Yeah,
I'm used
if
to
this is
staying-
if you're doing a prowl, then shadows make sense. They're
Yeah,
definitely
just
in.
James Bonded around all the corners. Just roll
So-
ridiculously.
So yeah, some of you could do one thing, and some of you could do the other. Just whatever you choose. You're
I
gonna have
think
to have.
pretend to be asleep.
Gonna let them drag you through the streets.
Sure.
Well,
How
it's
did
up
this-
to you, Elise. Are we going to incapacitate 2 of them? Or are we going to group? 'Cause I got enough willpower that I can handle if we all just go together.
Well, let's give it a try. We'll see if I'm capable of stealth.
All right.
All right.
And you can always take a fey bargain for an extra die.
I would like to do that. So I only have one, and I don't want to use up any of my willpower with what's going on.
Sure.
So,
You're leading?
yeah.
Okay. Let's see. How about...
Could I maybe still be having some lingering hallucinations since I have haunted from the whole encounter earlier? Like maybe I think there's more guards. I also have it's like paranoid. It's like one of my neurotic. My disposition.
Yeah, it would be
Bad taste of
generally
fish brain.
generally be a consequence of the prowess, or the role, but yeah, it could just be anything. How about
Maybe my harm from earlier intensive. Since I have bruised everything in a stomach gash, maybe trying to prowl and be sneaky. Maybe I'm just putting straight on my body.
yeah, maybe you're leaving a trail of blood.
Ooh.
And you don't notice it for a while in the dark. So we'll add +1 fate to the Coven. Probably from the door hitting you.
Makes sense.
Anybody else? All right, you can all roll if you're joining in.
Okay.
It's already a partial success, so.
Oh, failure for me.
Failure.
Ooh.
My goodness.
Oh no.
I knew I wasn't good at it.
It's a good thing I
So
didn't bother adding a die. That would have just been the
So
same.
that's 3 willpower or 4 willpower checks?
4 total.
4 total. Okay.
But thanks to Hollis, that's a partial success.
She's monkey-sized.
So this looks like you're all trying to make your way through quietly, and things just aren't going your way. Every time you turn a corner, there are people there. Luckily, they're pretty distracted, so Seth keeps reining people back in. Like, oh, you didn't hear that? I can't believe it. But Hollis finds a back way that you have to sort of squeeze through to get through. It's a Hollis sized back alley, but once everybody squeezes through there at the end, you're able to make your way to a side entrance to the Penguin exhibit. So you're all there.
Squeezing through would be a bit difficult given my buckshot wounds.
And you're at a locked maintenance door. So that used up 4 of your 5 willpower?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I unlocked the last one and I got my stomach tore up, guys.
I
Someone else
shall
unlock
unlock
door.
this one. I volunteer to do the unlock.
I can also do it. I have arcane supremacy.
Ooh.
And that says I can unlock or hold open a non-magical door.
Well,
Yep.
How much essence do you have? Because I have a lot. Like I only have 1 use.
I would not be using essence for my role whatsoever. I just be
Oh yeah.
attempting to unlock it in a fairly mundane fashion.
What does arcane supremacy take?
It just takes essence.
1?
1 to 3. Or wait,
I
yeah,
think
1 essence to lock or unlock the door, yeah.
so. Yeah, it's up to you guys.
Well, let's see if I'm able to unlock it the
Okay.
old-fashioned way. And if I fail, and it doesn't get us in tremendous trouble,
All right.
then Yaru can try things the complicated way. As we've learned before, darlings, the complicated way is not always the best.
So, as a consequence of the partial success earlier, they are aware from the blood spots that they've found on the ground that there is someone or something that is badly injured here, and so they're kind of on higher alert now. So we're moving into risky instead of controlled.
Let's hope that I don't make a terrible mess of this lockpicking job. It's a partial success out of 5.
Nice.
It's not a terrible
Okay.
mess.
You very stealthily unlock the door, and as you open it, you frighten some of the animals coming in this late, and they start making loud noises. So it's loud penguin noises coming out through the door into the streets. So we're going to. I think that is going to distract or is going to attract some people that work here, but that can be resisted.
Or you just
Resisted
steal
by
their
kill.
uniforms when they show up.
Because I think if we move quickly, well, there'll be a blood trail, won't there?
Yeah, but I
Somewhat.
can just shift into a monkey and be like, oh, I hurt myself.
They check you and they're like, why does this monkey have webbed feet?
The new evolution. Sea monkey.
Sea monkey.
So do you want to resist that just by rushing in and closing the door or calming the penguins or
Yes, I shall attempt to calm the penguins. That is a good idea. I was at a bit of a loss for how to resist it, but yes,
You
I.
can sing them a song.
Do penguins
Ooh,
sing?
music soothes the savage penguin.
My God, I don't think they want to hear me sing. But I will attempt to give them some pebbles that I find on the side of the enclosure.
I do be liking pebbles.
They do be
Another thing that you could do would just be to make an insight roll and say that you expected that they might be startled by any like fast opening door, and so you opened it slower and more methodically.
Yes, that was most sensible. Certainly more sensible than Elise trying to sing penguins a song.
Either that or you shove Seth in like first, like, because I smell like fish and like, ooh.
Oh my goodness, they're just going to devour you.
So
We
hungry.
can't have that.
They
Yeah,
want
so
a midnight snack.
I shall attempt to prepare before opening the door. Or
Okay.
rather, I will have prepared, and hopefully that will have been enough here. That is a success at a 6.
Nice. All right. You see flashlights pointing down the side of the building. They're slowly coming toward you as you're slowly opening the door and ushering everyone through. But you shut the door slowly behind you just before the flashlights get to the door, and you're all in, and you have not been spotted. and the penguins are not screeching. They are being very inquisitive, though. Like you
Away
said,
from Steph.
the sights and smells.
Oh, gold. And they're leaking fish blood. We'll have to move quickly.
Yeah, I think now that you're in this good light, you can see that Seth is leaking. Seth fluid.
We have first aid kits, right?
I
Mhm.
have a first aid kit, yeah.
Well, let's take a minute to make sure we patch you up.
Oh, we
Who
want
wants
to do
to-
that?
Who wants to do the patching?
Let's see. I have a lot of craft, so I can craft
Ooh.
like a nice like splint or something.
Yeah, tourniquet.
A tourniquet. Yeah, there you go.
All the way around your waist tourniquet. It'll be great.
Yeah.
I think that's
You
called a
right
belt.
in. It'll be
It's
cute.
just like a binder or a corset at this point.
I think there we go. Hey, I successfully patched you up.
Yay!
I
Awesome.
even put a little bow.
Aw. Well, that's
Okay. Yep, you've stopped the bleeding. And
I still keep that stomach gash on there, though, right? From my
Yeah.
arm.
all right. So how do you want to go about finding the way down or in? Split up?
You know, if this is all connected through waterworks, and the penguin enclosure, I'm assuming, has a pool, perhaps Seth should go for a swim. Just be certain to swim faster than the penguins.
Yeah, there are multiple different pools throughout the complex, housing different kinds of penguins. So
Sorry.
it's okay.
I
Are
would like
there-
to look for an employees only door.
There is an employee. There's one that's very that you can see immediately.
Darling, we're not allowed to use that. We're not employees.
Well, better go home now.
Can we bring the penguins with us?
Yes, mandatory. I need at least 3.
Penguins are the new tap dancing kids.
Oh, tap
They're
dancing
already dressed
penguins,
up so
that's
fancy.
next level.
Nice.
Kids tap dancing with penguins. It will be
Oh my
a smash
goodness.
hit.
And we thought
Mhm.
we had a hit before. Truly, we will rule Broadway.
The maintenance entrance inside this building is not locked.
Oh, cool.
Are you
Head in
heading
there
down,
first
Hollis?
before I pop off for a swim.
Hollis, are you heading down?
Yeah, I just wanted to see if they had like any like stairs that went down.
Yeah, it leads directly into a break room, and you can see 2 directions that lead off from there. One leads down a hallway, and the other one has a staircase going down.
Okay.
Is there a staff fridge?
Yes.
Can I rummage around and see if there's any food? I'm starving.
Yeah.
It's a hungry tapeworm.
We don't know if it's that kind of parasite.
Can I send a Ron down the tunnel and just to get a quick just where it ends, what's at the end,
The hallway or the stairs?
the stairs?
Okay. Yeah, what do you want him to roll? Or what do you want to roll for him?
I guess a survey because he's doing this quick and he's just
Okay.
kind of getting a lay of the land, like if there's anything that could be like an underground type situation.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we're gonna need to roll anything for that. With his night vision and everything, that's I think that's a solid you do it. So yeah, he flies down there. There aren't any people down there. There's a
Oh, good.
huge system of pumps, and they seem to be running water to and from all the different tanks. And you can see one section of pipe that looks like it leads out of the building. And there is another maintenance hatch there that follows alongside that pipe. All right. And that maintenance hatch seems to be rusted. The lock is rusted off. And so it just swings open.
Okay.
It is small.
I'm just kind of at a loss because I don't know exactly what it is we're trying to find.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do you just sort of want to go exploring?
Yeah.
In a quiet way? See what you find?
If you
Sorry,
just
what's
want
that?
to find something in danger to steal.
I think since it's small, if you wanted to go alone, Hollis, or send a familiar through,
Yeah, I'll
that
just
would make
send
the
a
most
ROM to
sense.
keep going.
Okay.
Hatches at the bottom of the stairs or at the hallway?
So she went. She sent her owl down the stairs into the big open room that has all the pumps, and then Aron found a maintenance hatch that leads out of the building into another area, which is unlocked, and so he was able to get in there. It's small. It's a Hollis appropriate sized tube, but it leads into another area that's lit, but you can't see much in it. So she was considering whether she should send the owl in there or go in herself and then report back what she finds.
With my psychometry help with the hatch, essentially give us an idea about what's going on with that.
It just looks like it's a normal maintenance hatch that sort of follows pipes so that you can maintain those pipes if you need to.
Okay.
Nothing really unusual about it. Definitely nothing magical. So maybe a prowl or some other kind of roll to get information while you're down there. See what you can find out.
Or Aron?
Either.
Yeah. I was just gonna let him
Okay.
continue on the way since he was already down there.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I guess prowl will work.
Okay. I'm gonna say down here, controlled standard effect. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, that took a second. But it's a fail.
Okay. So I think you're gonna have to resist. Oh, actually, I said controlled. So you get to Ron gets down the tunnel and can hear people moving around, and can also hear some animal growls and other noises coming from the next area. So you can choose to withdraw and try another approach, or try to get more information by going in risky.
I think I'll have him withdraw, and maybe me and a shape-shifted Seth could sneak down this tunnel and see what we can see.
Sounds good. I'm down for a field trip.
Okay.
Spelunking at the zoo.
I'll keep raiding the refrigerator. See if perhaps someone stored any liquor somewhere in here as well.
All right, is this a group prowl or?
Yeah, I'll lead it, and I think I'm gonna do a Fey bargain to get an extra die.
Okay.
And I'd like to do one as
Okay. Let's see. I think that this maintenance hatch hasn't been used very often, so you're gonna end up with a lot of like machine grease on your clothes. It's
Okay.
gonna smell and it's gonna be slippery.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Okay.
We're going to
So that'll
get a
apply to
fuse
both
as
of
a
you.
Coven upgrade. I don't want them walking inside until this is dealt with. We're never going to be able to get it out. The children are going to be scrubbing for months.
I got a 3.
Okay. Ah,
I got a 4.
all right. So that's
So
gonna
that
cost you
is
2 willpower.
how much willpower?
2.
Okay.
1 for leading and 1 for your roll. So Seth, what form are you in?
Monkey?
I guess I'll be a monkey.
A monkey. Okay.
Return to monkey.
Something with thumbs that's at least useful for Hollis and I inevitably run into something.
Okay.
Imps are pretty strong.
Yeah.
All right. You come to the end of the tunnel, and you watch the back of a worker who is making their way through a tunnel, and they turn a corner heading away from you. And so as soon as they are out of your sight, you're able to climb down and see what there is to see. And what there is to see is on your left is a big metal door, probably locked. And on your right is a hallway. And on the right side of that hallway is a glass enclosure with a dozen of these that you will see in chat. They kind of look like mutant rats that are able to walk on their hind legs. They
I love
seem
his
to
2
be
little fingers.
they seem to be very aggressive and territorial with each other. And they're kind of making hissing noises. And they seem to notice you and hiss at you and then retreat to the back of the cage.
So is this what made the giant growling sound?
Almost definitely not.
I didn't think so.
Nope.
Is this what they're
This is it.
feeding? What made the giant growlings?
Yarrow and Seth are on the same page. This is
Do we want to continue down the hallway?
I mean, sure. They're behind a glass enclosure. Like,
Yeah.
probably they can't really get us right now.
Yeah, I assume that people wouldn't be walking around in here if they were in any danger.
All right. Are the two of you telepathically sending this information back?
Look at this disgusting thing.
Look at this freaking guy.
Look at this distinguished gentleman.
Finally, that's enough to end
I
my
mean, you put a little bow tie on him. He's okay.
All right. You sneak up to the next corner and watch the guard from behind as he taps on the glass of another enclosure and laughs, and then something hits the glass and he falls backward and then picks his light back up. And when he stands up, he slams his fist against the glass 3 times and then laughs again and then continues walking and turns another corner. So,
Tapes
asshole.
are not extinct already. Boggles the mind.
Can I use my telekinesis to trip him?
I think
We'll
right
be a
now it's
conduit.
only Hollis and Steph that have made their way in. If you
We're
want
too
to,
big, darling.
you could make it through. You would just get very, very
Real dirty.
greasy
We're too
and
big, and I'm standing by that statement.
dirty.
I don't think I can make it down there, but it's worth a thought. He deserves it.
Elise is just chowing down on like somebody's ham and cheese. Hollis and I are like on a little adventure, and just, Yaro's just like slow dancing with the emperor penguins, like having a great time.
Using that trick to make a spoon for some yogurt out of the lid. All right. Do you two want to go check out what's?
Yeah, I want to see what's in there.
All
Yeah,
right.
so you gotta like throw against the glass. Maybe it's one of these guys. Chat.
It is a 6-foot-long, 3-headed, basilisk-looking creature,
Oh, he's
Ooh.
cute.
and it looks like it was trying to nap, but the guard kept bugging it and pissing it off.
Poor baby.
It's relatable.
Evidently,
This
should be
thing looks
rescued.
like it might be big enough to have made the noises you were hearing. But you're not seeing any like the fountain pipes or anything don't
Okay.
really come up from here, so you're thinking it might not have been close enough to be able to make these noises.
Okay, well, we could keep meandering until we find something.
Yeah, I mean he's going down the hallway, so clearly there's a place to go.
Mm-hmm.
Worst case scenario, we knock him out.
Yeah, or what
Yeah.
if anything happens to be out, it's gonna eat him first.
All right. Let's see. I think let's skip back to Elise and Yarrow. You are hearing workers coming in from the outside who have come into the break room, probably.
They
So
want their lunch.
they unlocked the front door and seem to be heading back to the maintenance area.
It doesn't sound like.
So do we slip out the door?
We could.
Or do we
Probably
just
just-
act like we're eating something in the break room too? We're just new employees. They don't know.
Something tells me we're not going to fit in very well.
Yeah, probably not.
If there's less than 10 of them, we could probably just kill them.
So there's a hallway that leads off to the back that nobody's been down, and then
I think I'm going to head down that way because I've already more or less rummaged through the refrigerator and
Same. I just follow Elise because I figure she knows best.
Okay.
Mother does know best.
All right. The two of you head down that hallway, and you find an employee area that leads into another penguin enclosure. This one seems much larger, but the lights are off back here, and if you just wait it out, there's a good chance that the employees won't come back here.
We could be
And they were just-
patient.
Yeah, we're sitting around hiding in the dark.
Mhm.
I'm not certain what benefit there would be for poking around further in the penguin enclosure, as I don't imagine it holds anything beyond penguins.
Yeah. If
They
it was
can't
Seth
even
in this
fly.
position, they could go swimming, but yeah. For the other two of you, it's not quite as useful.
No. I'm
Um,
a swimmer. Get my hair all wet.
so you see that, and if you hurried, you could probably make it down that staircase instead if you prefer that area. But it might require an action roll because they're getting closer.
The staircase with the oil.
The staircase is clear. It's a maintenance hatch beyond the staircase is where the oil was.
Well, it might be sensible for us to attempt to rush down there. Although, again, we're about as much use up here as we are down there.
Yeah, I feel like I could spring into the dark area at least.
All right. Group spring.
Yeah, I can
I
leave.
suppose I could lead it.
Okay.
I will lead us in springing.
Okay. We're going to call this risky.
That was somehow a partial success. A
Nice.
miracle, given that I was rolling 0 die.
Yeah. And for Yara?
I would have one at least.
Nice. Okay, partial success for both of you. So that only costs you 1 willpower to lead. And the two of you make it down into the basement area, the water pump area. And at this point, the sound of the water pumps running completely blocks out the sound of your, walking down the stairs and things like that. But there is I think you Elise left some food trash out on the table.
Oh yes, definitely.
And they're
Black lipstick
getting
all over some half-eaten sandwich.
and it seems like it might have been one of the people that came in. It might have been their food. So they're looking around for the culprit. So we're gonna go to risky for you too. On the off chance that they try to head down there and see if there's anybody there. All right. We'll skip back to Seth and Hollis. As you continue to follow behind the guard, he seems to be getting more aggressive with all the creatures as he's going. And the creatures aren't going to be able to do anything about it, but you guys are getting the well, we could do something about it attitude as he is going around and pounding on the next bunch of glass. And you hear what sounds like puppies yipping.
Oh my god, is there a
And
Cerberus?
he's
I said, oh my god, is there a Cerberus?
and he is he's yelling at them and cursing at them and stuff like that.
I'm gonna brawl this guy. I don't like him. I'm gonna bite him.
Bite.
I'm gonna bite him.
Okay. All right.
This
You want
is
to do that alone?
unacceptable. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna scroll my
I don't
giant.
know. I think
picture
Seth
sheet.
should join in. Imagine just two monkeys running at a guard. One in a ski mask.
I could jump in and
Smelling
join.
of
I just
oil.
can't lead. If we're doing a group, I can't lead. If anything happens, I will trauma out.
Yeah.
Hollis, you
Both
want
of you
to
at that point.
lead?
But we can do separate things if that's what you want to do too.
I'm pretty low too. That's the only thing that I'm worried about is the willpower.
Yeah, so maybe one of us attack, and then if anything
I'll
happens,
do a
the other
setup
one takes-
action and I'll bite him and then you can hit him in the head.
Oh, sounds good.
Terrible shame that the only people with any willpower are the ones who are.
Yeah. Didn't make it down.
Not too
All
much
right.
willpower. Elise is eating everything in that fridge.
Ugh, all my
Oh
threes.
no. Okay. You rush out behind him, and he turns just as you're running up to him, and in one fluid motion, he whips something out of his side, and a baton extends out and starts with electricity.
Oh
Uh,
gosh.
as he swings it toward you, and you notice that on his opposite eye, the one you weren't seeing, he's got an eye patch covering his eye. And this looks like a red watch baton.
Oh shit. Okay.
And you come around the corner going for his ankles, and he swings that baton around and like fends you off with it, but he doesn't get close enough to actually touch you.
Okay, that's good.
So what does he see? What do you
I'm in
look
a
like
hoodie and a ski mask. I'm just a tiny person.
running
I'm
around
just
on
a
all fours?
child from the zoo.
Okay.
Just an angry child
In a ski mask.
in a ski mask.
All right. You hear the sound of metal breaking from the cage just to your right, the one he was cussing at, and you are too busy facing off with him to see what it is that is making the noise, and you hear the sound of babies yipping. All right, Seth, do you want to take an action?
Yeah. Am I able to come brawling in to see if I can come up from above? Like
Yeah,
smash my
as
face?
what?
I'm still in monkey form at this point.
Oh,
from having
okay.
to fit to the grate.
You want to do like a spring or something?
Would it be a spring if he's already looking down the hall? I guess he's only seen Hollis at this point, but
You're on the
Yeah.
ceiling, darling. You're a monkey.
I can't defy gravity as a monkey.
There are pipes running through the area. You could be climbing from pipe to pipe.
Okay. Well, I don't have great spring, but I have decent brawl.
Brawl's fine.
I'll do brawl in an attempt to see if I can come down like on top of him and either
Okay.
knock him down or like hit him in the face. That way he can
Okay.
get out of the way.
It's going to be desperate because he has his baton out and crackling.
Okay.
Hey. All right. Okay, so the first thing is you hear the glass beside you crack as something hits it very, very hard. And then you hear metal breaking as well. You come down and you can describe what you do to him. So this is a older gentleman, probably in his late 50s, who's got an eye patch covering his left eye and has a baton pointed at Hollis. Stun baton.
So I'm going to be hanging from the rafters or the girders down
Yeah.
this hallway. So I want to position myself on top to kind of drop down and slam him to the floor. So his hands are out at Hollis. I'm hoping he's not going to break his fall, and he's just going to smack face first into the ground.
Awesome. Do you want to shapeshift into something else to like add some more weight to that?
Gorilla.
Chimpanzees are
Gorilla.
several hundred pounds.
Yeah, they're pretty heavy.
That's
so
true. Yeah, and plus you
might
have
just say
And
gravity.
they're all muscle. They will break people.
Yeah.
I'm a dense, chunky boy right now, so I'm gonna come down
Okay.
as that, and I'll leave that for later because I might need that for whatever is having such a grumpy time on the other side of this glass.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you pin him to the ground. He still has a hold of his baton, and he's still conscious, but he is on the ground.
Can I kick the baton out of his hand now that he's on the ground?
Sure. Is that all you want to do?
I mean, no, but that's all I'm gonna do right this moment.
Okay.
The chat's saying, "Get him, Hollis."
I want to take it from him. I want to pick it up, not
Okay.
kick it away. I want to hold it in my hands and poke him with it, basically, at some point.
Okay. Brawl?
Basically, you walk a shock baton.
Yeah, that'd be cool too. Oh, I might
Are you
blow
gonna do
myself up if I use it, though.
You might, but it would be fun.
What
Yeah, fun for you.
Fun for all of us. I gesture madly at chat.
All right, I'm going to. I guess I'm gonna finesse it away from him.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm gonna try to finesse it. Let's see if I get a 3 this time.
I'm gonna bring this down from desperate to risky because he's flat on the ground.
Okay. Let's see. Now I have a 3. I think mine's broken. I have rolled a 3 every single time.
Wow.
Hollis has weighted dice.
Okay.
Yeah, this
I
is your
think Hecate-
program. It's your fault.
So
It's Hecate's call. She wants you to say hi.
Yeah.
the glass to your right shatters, and you hear a massive roar that you absolutely recognize, just 15 times louder than before, as this thing that you will see in chat has just busted through with its flat head. It had a muzzle on its head, but it broke the muzzle and then broke through the glass.
I'm gonna get out of her way and let her eat him.
What is it?
So I think the stun baton is going nuclear. So you get your hand on it and you start pulling it away from him, and you hear the battery overcharging. And the electricity starts arcing, and it arcs and hits the thing's paw.
No!
No.
Yeah.
So we're
He
going
did
back into desperate.
it. It was
And
him. He did it. Please don't eat me.
and yeah, so this thing is just sort of firing wildly, and the battery is definitely going to explode very shortly. So what do you two do?
So the way the hallway is, it's this thing, me on the security guard, Hollis, and like back the way we came.
Yeah.
Okay. Hollis, you want me just to grab your hand and we like duck out of here?
Yeah, but I just want to stay long enough to watch her eat him.
We'll just move down the hallway to go a good vantage.
Maybe we can lead her out, and she can take her babies and fly off into the wilderness and be a good mom.
I think you'd have to find a separate exit.
Yeah, her wingspan doesn't look like she would fit through that maintenance
She
hatch.
just broke through metal and glass. She could probably dig her way out.
That's possible.
And if I hop into dire form, I can help out too. Double team, dig a hole.
So, do you guys want to back off and just see what happens with the two of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess just to see if she blames us too for the zap.
But fight.
Let's see.
She's
I'll do the
cool.
roll.
She is.
Okay, good result. So the stun baton stops arcing toward her, and she leaps down from the glass area onto the floor and kind of on top of the guard. And she sets down her wing on the floor near the stun baton and unfurls her wing. And when the stun baton explodes, it just hits her wing and is kind of deflected off toward you guys rather than toward him and her. And it's hard to see what's going on back there, but her head just keeps diving toward the ground from behind her wing. And when she raises her head back up and looks over toward where you have run off to, you can see his blood all over her, the bottom part of her face. And the pups start jumping out from the cage onto her back. And they sort of start loading up onto her back. And then she turns away from you all and starts heading down that hallway to where you don't know what's down that way. And that's where we're going to call it for the night. So.
She's free.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Cute little
We're gonna
puppy.
go back up. We're gonna go back to Elise and Yarrow and be like, "Can we keep her?"
She can live on our island. She can be like our island guardian. It'd be great.
We need a coven pet.
I want to give her scritches.
All right. So, yep. That is the stopping point, and we can't do any kind of downtime, but we could run through quick XP. So, Yara, would you like to start or Azalban, would you like to start for Yara?
Let's see. Did I address a tough challenge with an artifact I crafted or calculation? Well, maybe with an artifact. No, not with an artifact crafted, but maybe a little calculation. Earlier trying to figure out with the telekinesis and dealing with all that jazz. Maybe. And then let's see, express my heritage, disposition, aspect, or beliefs. So, see, my disposition is creative. My aspect is the moon, which is mysterious. Okay, I want to say I did express the moon when I tried to be mysterious and rolling around and super
Yeah.
let's see. Struggled with issues from trauma, casting style, or consequences from harm. I struggle from, I guess, harm technically.
Yeah. You really played up the addled.
The
It
guts.
prevented you from taking a lot of action. So yeah, I think that absolutely counts.
Yeah, so I think that gives me 3 then. Which actually fills me up to 1 point. Ooh, that's useful.
Nice.
Because that means during downtime I can pick my new Grimoire power, right?
Yep.
Okay. I already know
Yeah,
what I want.
you don't have to worry about I can't get that until X amount of time has passed. You get it instantly.
Okay. I'll pre-mark it because I'll wait till I'll just know that that isn't in effect till downtime. Or
That's what
do
I'm
I just
saying.
get it?
You get it immediately. What is
Oh!
it?
Well, that's even more useful because that'll be useful the rest of the session.
Yeah. What did you pick?
Words of power, because
Oh, sweet.
we
Which ones are
really
you
need
thinking?
we really need that. And I picked 3, right?
Yeah.
To begin with.
Yep.
Which I think destroy blind.
Nice.
Ooh. And let's do stun. And I think that's
Cool.
a good little trio where I can blind people, I can stun if I don't want to completely destroy, and I can destroy for a lot of essence.
Yeah.
I need to write that.
Awesome.
And
All
then
right.
that'll be mine.
Lilith for Seth.
I think Seth's got a bunch this turn. So for just a tough challenge with many forms or familiar assistance, I turn into an octopus to try to poison the eldritch creature. I turned into a crab to distract the creature from Hollis, and I became a monkey for the tunnels. I did 2 there. For express your heritage, disposition, aspect, or beliefs, I specifically did not want to attack the child, and there's tentacles in my tower card.
Oh,
Definitely
nice.
tentacles. And struggled with issues from trauma, casting style, or consequences of harm. I got bruised everywhere when I was being reckless and being willing to get attacked for that octopus situation.
Yeah.
And my gashed stomach led the security people to us.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think I get 6 if everyone else agrees.
Nice.
Nice.
Hollis, Anya.
Yeah, the first one is address a tough challenge with wisdom or underworld knowledge. My siphon life is a grimoire power,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like I use that in a sort of wise way.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
Express your heritage, disposition, aspect, or belief. Let's
I would say
see.
even more, it was curious.
Yeah. My heritage, I definitely played up being small, getting through the grate, and
Yep.
my disposition being curious, wanting to follow that guard around to see all the underground animals. So that's 2
Yeah.
for that one. Struggled with issues from your trauma, casting style, or consequences of harm. The adult definitely messed up my first siphon life roll for sure, and caused me to have to do more damage.
Yeah.
So that's 1. So that gives me 5.
Nice. And Morningstar as Elise.
Well, for once, I didn't really do any manipulation that I can think of. A few niceties, but not manipulation. But I suppose one could justify astral knowledge with the physical takeover of the tentacled beast.
I think that counts as manipulation, just physical manipulation.
Well, I suppose it is physically manipulating something.
Also, with the House of the Ram, you know, took the credit for that, and there was a bit of manipulation there as well. No one else would have had the fictional position for doing what they were doing. You're in a unique position because of who you are.
Then I suppose that's 2, if everyone agrees with that.
I think so.
And I don't think being Median really came up. I mean, all of us are sneaking around in hoods and hoodies and such, so my human nature really isn't helping me too much here. But my bon vivant disposition certainly came into play.
Mm-hmm.
given that I was constantly drinking
Eating,
and
drinking.
eating and hunting for more. My apologies, I've got so many tabs, I keep clicking to the wrong one. My aspect to the Empress did not come up at all. But my beliefs, I think it's quite safe to say that they came up, given that there were many things that she simply would not do, even if they were the
Mhm.
logical option, just because they didn't align with her personality. Like going into a filthy hole. So I think that counts.
For sure.
And then I wouldn't say that I struggled so much with the buckshot wound to the gut. It only really fleetingly was mentioned. One could say I ate a lot because of the parasite, but that wasn't a trauma, and we weren't certain it's that sort of parasite anyways. I did have to step into the circle in order to grab the tentacle and cast my spell. So I certainly was put at a disadvantage because of my casting style.
I would definitely agree.
So all in all, that's 5.
Nice.
And that
Who wants to do the Coven?
Took a new general power.
Oh, yeah?
I got malefaction.
Ooh. And Seth, did you get something new?
Yes, I took Otherworld Omen.
Ooh.
Oh.
That'll be
I almost took that one too, so.
Morningstar, did you get anything new?
I got a Dalton Consort, so now I'm finally,
Able to make friends.
yes, finally able to be friendly with people instead of just bossing around.
Now it's how to make friends and manipulate people.
Exactly.
That's the title of Elise's autobiography.
Yeah.
Most of the manipulation.
Lilith, were you saying something else about your power?
Oh, no, I was just saying it's going to be fun when that comes up.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, first one for the Coven. Did anybody, I guess not because it's empty. I was going to say add those 2 fate that we got today, so I'm going to go ahead and stick those in. All right, Coven XP. Successfully completed a favored undertaking. No. It's not done
yet.
Contended with challenges above your current station.
Yeah, you didn't know it, but you are technically against the Red Watch here.
Yeah. And I would say Eldritch Horror is above our current station, so I'm taking 2 for that one.
That was one of the hardest fights we had to do.
I know, that was rough.
I was ill prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
your Coven's lore or acted in a manner befitting your patron. Let's see, our lores. I definitely feel like that was very weird. Strange. For sure.
Eldritch breaking into a zoo.
Yeah. We were a little bit brutal with that guard. We let him get eaten on purpose.
True.
I feel like unleashing a horde of monkeys on an unsuspecting populace, whether they're trained guards or not, is a bit brutal.
Ambitious is our other one, but I think we already have 2 for that section, so we're good there.
Thanks for the follow, Izzy Chrissy. Izzy Kissy, that is.
Express the drives, inner conflicts, or essential nature of the Coven. I guess our drives, again, are, we don't want things to be in cages, so that's why we were there in the first place.
Absolutely.
Elise struggled with an inner conflict of not wanting to go in the dirty hole, so that was, that counts.
Do I protect my friends or do I protect my gown?
Exactly, that's a conflict.
And what do we do about this dirty hole?
And I think that's the essential nature of our coven. That is the big question. What do we do?
Yeah.
That's the dirty hole.
All right, so that's 6.
The
Let's
dirty
see.
hole changes every week, but what we do about it, that also changes every week.
4, 5, 6. That fills us up. We get an upgrade.
Awesome.
Check.
And when you take downtime, you'll be able to get the lesser ritual that lets you upgrade to tier 3.
Hey.
So,
That will put you on par with the Red Watch.
Yay. Right after we deal with them.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure we'll have to deal with many more times.
Yeah, that's true.
So as far as this underground menagerie, you guys have only scraped the surface. So I'm really
Well, then I guess
excited.
I'm going to be going into the dirty hole next week. Join us next week when I get into that dirty hole.
Well, speaking of dirty holes,
I
No.
don't want to hear what you're transitioning into, honestly.
I was gonna say, let's tell everybody where they can find us.
Oh.
The dirty holes they can find us in on the internet.
Usually the dirty holes are the one finding me. Yes, I just called all of my forms dirty holes.
It's like a pet name.
I'm going to
We-
get thank
we do
you
need-
letters for that one tomorrow.
We do need a name for our followers on Twitch, so we'll shop that one around. How are our dirty holes doing?
I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like that one's treading
Alright.
some water that should not be tread.
All right, let's start with our guest star, Azelwyn. Where can everyone find you on the internet?
Well, you can find me generally at Azelwyn, pretty much anywhere. It's a word I made up, so if it's Azelwyn, it's me. Especially on TikTok, Azelwyn Art. Right now, I'm trying to do some stuff on there, and it's been fun. But yeah, I just do a bunch of creative stuff.
All right, Lilith.
I am the photographer and editor for the Morningstar content, so I don't do anything on my personal accounts just yet. But if you want to look at any of the work that I do, you can check in the stream. You can follow all the Morningstar links.
And those links will all be up on the credits screen in just a moment. Anya?
Yeah, I guess the best place to find me in public would probably be on Twitter because I think everything else is private. So yeah, Twitter, Anya Timur.
Awesome. And Morningstar.
Mentioned before, the links will be showing later, but if you want to come find me and become one of my dirty holes, you can find me at the Scytherian on Facebook or the_Scytherian on Twitter and Instagram, where we are producing all sorts of fantastical visual delights featuring yours truly.
Yeah, today is a good day if you want some visual delights to
Oh,
follow the
yes.
Scytherian.
If that's nothing, it's just some workout progress, completely innocent.
I felt very innocent after looking at them. And you can find us. We are the developers who Anya and I, who wrote Nightsky or Children of Midnight Coven. Nightsky Sanctum is one of the many covens you can play as in our tabletop role-playing game.
Or make your own.
Absolutely, which is kind of what we've done because Nightsky Sanctum has gone
Evolved.
very off the rails and in a very, very good way. So yeah, you will definitely make them your own. But yeah, the Quickstart is out for free at quickstart.childrenofmidnight.com. We are relaunching our merch store very shortly, having some little technical difficulties there, but we'll let you know as soon as that's back up. Everything that we do is Balsamic Games, so you can find us pretty much on any platform as Balsamic Games. And we loved entertaining you tonight, and we will see you next week. Have a great night.
Ah,
Bye.